Hi there, it's back to math, okay? And we've been talking about fractions. So the most important thing you need to know about fractions is that they are equal parts. The parts within the object, they're equal parts, parts that make up a whole, okay? So here's the word fractions, and fractions are equal parts. So if we look at this shape, it is a triangle, okay? And I did 3 triangles and I cut them in half. So half means 2 equal parts, okay? That is what a half is. So here's 1 part and here's 2 parts. Okay, there are 2 parts, yes, but are those 2 parts equal? Are they the same? No, okay? So I'm gonna cross that out. That is not a half, okay? We look here, do we have 2 parts? Yes, we do have 2 parts. Is this part the same as that part? It is. So that is cut into half. Okay, it's kind of like a fair share. This is the same as this. Okay, and then this is 2 parts. 1 part, 2 parts. Is this part the same as that part? It is not. So that is not cut into half. Okay, here is the next shape. Okay, this one is, do you remember what the shape was called? Has 4 sides. It is a trapezoid, okay? So I cut them in half, and we're going to see which one is half, has 2 equal parts. So here's 1 part and 2 parts. And are the parts the same? Yes, they are equal. They are cut into half. These 2 parts make up the whole, okay? The whole would be this whole trapezoid. And then I'm going to cut it into 2 equal parts. 1, 2. Okay, 2 parts, yes, 1, 2. Do those 2 parts, are they equal? No, it's not equal. It's not cut into half. It's not fair, okay? 2 parts, yes, but are the 2 parts the same? Are they equal? No, it is not cut equally into 2 parts. This one here. Okay, this one has 5 sides. Remember what that one is called? It's called a pentagon. And I've cut each pentagon into 2 parts. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And we have to figure out which ones are equal parts. This side and this side are equal parts. I did cut them in half. The top is not the same as the bottom. It is not cut into half equally. And this part and this part, not equal. So those are not equal parts. Okay, so the thing that you need to know is that they are 2 equal parts. And I like playing around with fractions. I wish we were in school to do this. But this is something you can do at home only if you ask your parents. Don't start cutting up things unless you ask. But I have a paper plate. Okay, and I'm going to cut it into half. And when you cut it into half, it has to be equal. Both sides need to be equal. Okay? Easiest thing for me to do is just fold it in half. And then I'm going to just crease it down the middle. And then when I open it back up, one side should be exactly the same size as the other. So I cut it into half. 2 parts are the same. Okay? So if I put them right on top of each other, they are equal, okay? And if I have 2 parts and I put them back together, those 2 parts make up a whole, okay? So here's the whole, like a whole pizza or a whole cookie, whole plate. But then I cut it into 2 parts, and those parts are 2 equal parts. 1 part, 2 parts. So I cut them into half. I get one, you get one. We'll split it in half and it'll be fair. Here's an envelope that I have. There's different ways that you can cut these into half, but you have to make sure that they are fair, okay? I can fold it in half, make sure it's creased, fold it in half, open back up. I'm going to cut along that fold line, and I cut it in half. So this is the same size as this. They are equal parts. 2 equal parts. You put the 2 equal parts together and it equals a whole. This is a rectangle. There's another way to do it. Right? I can do it up and down, so I can fold it this way, just as long as they are 2 equal parts. And the 2 equal parts make a whole. You're going to keep hearing me say that. It's the whole envelope. It's the whole rectangle. But then I'm going to cut it into 2 equal parts. I'm going to cut it into half. So each side should be the same. One half and the other half. Put it together, it makes the whole. So I can do it this way and I cut it into half, and then I also did it this way and I cut it in half. Still same shape but different, okay? But then if I'm like, oh, here, I'll cut it in half in 2 pieces, they're not 2 equal pieces, so I can't do it that way. It's not 2 equal parts. I can't remember how I did that. There we go. Okay, so that is not 2 equal parts. I did not cut it in half. Okay, so maybe you can experiment of cutting things in half. Okay, and this is 1 out of 2. So this is 1 part out of 2 pieces, and this is the other part. Okay, so the bottom number represents how many pieces did we cut them into. 1 piece, 2 pieces. Okay, and this is 1 out of 2, that line right there, 1 out of 2, 1 out of 2. You can say a half or 1/2. Okay, hopefully that was helpful, and maybe you can try to find things at home to cut into half, 2 equal parts. Bye.